Scheduled Jacksonville City Council meeting. Today is Tuesday, July the 8th, 2025 at 6 p.m. We do have a quorum, so I'll call us to order. Our first item will be our invocation, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance to the flags. Our invocation tonight will be given by Mayor Pro Tem Tim McRae. So if everyone could stand, we'll get those two items out of the way.
We'll pray. Our most gracious Heavenly Father, we pause now to give you thanks. We give you thanks for so many things, but thank you for this city. Thank you for this great state and this great country we live in, where we enjoy unprecedented freedoms. And we just give you all the glory for that. We hope that you would guide and direct this council and the decisions we make for our community, as well as to guide and direct the leadership of our state and of our country. We pray for our first responders, that you would keep them protected and safe, and we're so thankful for them, as well as those here and those across the country. And we especially pray today for your mercy and grace, and we just pray for the victims of the flooding in Texas, and that you would be with these families and you'd be with this state and help us to heal. We pray all this in your Son's name. Amen.
Amen. First to the pledge of our American flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The Texas flag.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you. If you guys will allow me, we're going to move item 11 up now. We have Victor Ontiveros from Encore, and item 11 is related to Encore, so we will take item 11 right now. Discuss and consider possible action or resolution suspending Encore's requested rate increase for 90 days from the proposed effective date of July 31, 2025. James, you got anything you want to?
Yeah, Mayor, City Council, no slide for this particular item,
Okay.
but we did discuss this on Thursday. We're represented by Herrera Law and Associates law firm. They work with a kind of a conglomerate of cities served by Encore, and they are recommending, and before you this evening, is a resolution to suspend Encore's requested rate increase for 90 days and allow them to have some further discussions with Encore and the PUC on its effective date. Essentially just postponing and potentially buying down a little bit what that rate increase could look like to the Encore customer.
Okay. That resolution's in your packet, so I will entertain a motion to approve that resolution.
I'll make a motion that we approve that
Okay.
resolution.
We have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Tim McRae,
One second.
second by Councilman Rob Goen. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Victor. You're excused.
I told him 6:20. That was fast.
That's good. So you can make it to your next one tonight. Appreciate what you do for us. All right. Now we'll back up to item number 5, our special presentation. First is the Business of the Month presented by JEDCO President Shane Pace to Creation Branding. So,
Thank you, Mayor, Council.
you bet.
This evening, I am presenting our Business of the Month to Emily Wilkerson with Creation Branding. Emily has been working here in Jacksonville for quite some time. You're a Jacksonville girl, right?
Yeah.
I was introduced to Emily from the business side through Cliff Adams with Adams Engineering. And Cliff said, hey, Emily has done a really good job for us. She had no idea about our industry, but she just gets it. And if you've been following us on social media, if you've been looking at some of the information we've been putting out, Emily and her team have done a fantastic job of really telling the story of what the Economic Development Corporation does, and really the breadth of all the different projects that we're working on. And so she is an extension of our staff, and her team has just been fantastic. And I just want to say thank you for all the help you've done for us and all that you're doing for Jacksonville, because you not only work for us, but you also work for a lot of small businesses here in town, and you really help them grow. Emily hates the spotlight, so please make sure you take plenty of pictures. All right, thank you so much. It's the sport. Please stop talking.
Oh.
Our second item is designation of July as Park and Rec Month. So, Mr. Devon, you want to come up? Present you with a proclamation. This is Devon, our Parks Director. You've been with us how long?
Year and a half.
Year and a half. Doing some great things for our city. We appreciate it. Whereas 2025 is the 60th anniversary of the National Recreation and Parks Association. And whereas Parks and Recreation are an integral part of communities throughout this country, including Jacksonville, Texas. Whereas Parks and Recreation promote health and wellness, improving the physical and mental health of people who live near parks. And whereas Parks and Recreation promote time spent in nature, which positively impacts mental health by increasing cognitive performance and well-being and alleviating illnesses such as depression, attention deficit disorders, and Alzheimer's. And whereas Parks and Recreation encourage physical activities by providing space for popular sports, hiking trails, swimming pools, and many other activities designed to promote active lifestyles. Whereas Parks and Recreation increase a community's economic prosperity through increased property values, expansion of the local tax base, increasing tourism, the attraction and attention of businesses, and crime reduction. Whereas Parks and Recreation is fundamental to the environmental well-being of our community. And whereas our parks and recreation in areas ensure the ecological beauty of our community and provide a place for children and adults to connect with nature and recreate outdoors. And whereas the U.S. House of Representatives has designated July as Parks and Recreation Month, now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Jacksonville, Texas, that July is recognized as Park and Recreation Month in the City of Jacksonville. Signed this the 8th day of July 2025 by myself. So, Mr. Devon. Thank you. Appreciate all you do. Alrighty. I'd like to note that we do not have a special presentation to them, but I see 2 Boy Scouts here tonight. My understanding is they're here working on their communication merit badges, so we appreciate you guys being here. You bet. What's your names?
Max Schmidt,
Okay,
Benjamin Derry,
perfect. That's great. What class are you in Scouts?
first class,
Okay,
Iron Star.
wow, that's great.
Yeah.
Getting there. Appreciate your attendance. We really do. Our next item is citizens' participation. This is where we set aside some time to hear concerns from our citizens. Did we have any cards, Greg?
No, sir.
No cards? Okay. All right, number 7 then we'll go. Oh, we do, I'm sorry.
I
Yes.
didn't know what to do.
Oh, okay, I'll turn it in.
Of all people. We were supposed to come the Flag Day Committee.
Oh, that's yours. Well, I thought that was your card. Okay. We'll let you speak without a card. Go ahead. State your name and address.
I'm
just for the record.
Charlie Esco,
Of course.
part of the Flag Day Committee.
Yes.
And we just came to say thank you to the city manager for
Right.
allowing us to come inside on Flag Day.
Right.
It was raining, it was wet, and we still had a good time
We did.
inside celebrating Flag Day. So
Yes.
we say thank you, rather than griping, we say thank you.
We'll take all of that we can get. That's good. All right, now here, item number, anybody else that didn't want to speak that didn't have a card? All right. Item number 7 is our consent agenda. Items under that consent require little or no deliberation by the council. It's approval of the minutes, approval of the annual jingle jog route, approval of the fostering 5K route, and an interlocal agreement with the East Texas Council of Government. So I'll entertain a motion to approve our consent agenda.
I make a motion, we approve the consent agenda as written.
We have a motion by Councilwoman Mindy Geller,
Second.
second by Councilwoman Latitia Horace. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries. Item number 8 is any action out of executive session, and I think we have 2 items, so. Right, 2?
Just one.
Oh, just one?
I
Two,
We had two.
but you
Well,
have,
help me out.
you have one.
You have
Yeah.
one.
Okay, you're gonna have to help me with
Okay,
one
good.
then.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, well, the first one.
The first one, what's the first one? Okay.
I make a motion to authorize the city manager to negotiate and enter into street easements needed for the Canada Street improvements between Bolton and South Jackson Streets.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilwoman Mindy Gallup,
I'll second.
second by Councilman Rob Goen. Any discussion on that? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries. Our second item is to approve a JEDCO resolution. And I think Shane's gonna kind of read that resolution for us.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mayor and Council. So as we discussed in executive session, this is a resolution for a project that is named Project Operation ALF. For the folks in the room today, this is a industrial project in our Norman Industrial Park, looking to construct somewhere between 100 and 125,000 square feet industrial manufacturing facility, creating anywhere between 100 and 150 jobs. So big win for Jacksonville, so very excited to be here, and thank you for the consideration this evening. So at this time, if there aren't any questions, I'll go ahead and read the resolution.
That'd be great.
This is a resolution of the City Council of the City of Jacksonville, Texas, approving projects of the Jacksonville Economic Development Corporation that may include land, buildings, equipment, facilities, expenditures, targeted infrastructure, excuse me, and improvements found by the Jacksonville Economic Development Corporation's Board of Directors to promote new or expanded business development within the City of Jacksonville, providing for severability and establishing an effective date.
Thank you. So I will entertain a motion to approve JEDCO's resolution as presented.
I'll make a motion to approve Jedco's resolution as written.
We have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Tim McRae,
Second.
second by Councilwoman Letitia Horace. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries. Item number 9 is a public hearing to hear and receive input regarding a special use permit to allow for a mobile veterinary and animal hospital located on Lot 1 of the Ricky Brown Edition, 1707 East Rush Street, City of Jacksonville, and then discuss afterwards. So I will.
Sure, I'll give a quick
Yeah,
staff
feel
briefing,
free.
Mayor, and then maybe if the applicant wants to make any comments or anybody's here for the public hearing, they're welcome to do that.
That'd be
The
great.
slide on the screen currently is some background information from the June 20th Planning and Zoning meeting. This almost exact request came before them on that date in 2023. You see that it was unanimously recommended for approval by all members in attendance of that meeting, and then ultimately unanimously approved by the City Council at their July 11th, 2023 City Council meeting. The reason for this being revisited this evening is that one of the conditions of the SUP approval in 2023 was that the applicant begin construction or have a building permit within 2 years of the SUP's issuance. They're currently operating from a mobile trailer. A little bit of background on Sharon Marsh and the applicant DeHart Veterinarian Services are that generally they travel throughout the East Texas and even the Dallas vicinity, and they provide low-cost spay and neutering services as well as other medical treatment to animals, including pills and prescriptions and flea medications and things of that nature. Certainly a good service for the community here in Jacksonville. Over the course of the last 2 years, the city has not received any known complaints due to this operation, whether at City Hall or in our Building Services Department, and nobody came out at the June 26th Planning and Zoning Commission meeting with any concerns. Again, we did have 2 members absent at the June 26th P&Z meeting, but those in attendance did unanimously recommend approval of the SUP. SUPs do by their nature and by the ordinance require 4/5 approval by the City Council. Here's a quick look at the condition of the site currently in the trailer that the provider is using to facilitate these services on site. I do want to also apprise the council of the fact that in addition to the SUP, which authorizes the use of the veterinarian or animal hospital in the G commercial zoning district, that they also abide by the itinerant vendor ordinance as well, because they are a mobile-based vendor, and there's some distance requirements and things of that nature required as part of that. So,
All right, so I will open up a public hearing to hear and receive any input for or against at this time. If you'd like to speak in favor of or against, come to the podium and if you'd like to. There you go. you'll just state your name and address.
Hello, I'm Jeffrey Tyler Johnson, 1719 East Rush Street. I own A right behind it. And I'm just wondering, is it going to be completely mobile or is it going to be turning to something bigger? I'm for it, but if it comes permanently where I hear animals nonstop, yeah, I just wanted to make sure that it stays mobile. And if not, can I buy it from them?
Okay.
So I don't know who represents them, but I'm for you
Sure.
as long as it stays mobile and not like a full-term veterinarian clinic. So me and my wife, we've helped at other rescues before. We know how loud and smelly it gets around them.
Sure.
So we just acquired this property this year, so we're just finding out about the mobile,
Right.
which is nice. It's really nice.
Yeah.
I just want to know the future intentions of it.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. Thank you.
Mhm.
Anyone else would like to speak in favor of or against? Seeing none, I will close the public hearing and we'll go to item B to discuss and consider possible action and ordinance granting the requested special use permit. So, I'll entertain a motion and,
So as we discuss the special use permit, if I remember correctly, are we going to stipulate another 2-year time frame? 5 years? Do we want to do anything?
I think that could be in your motion
Well,
Yeah.
I'm,
or someone's motion, right?
Yeah.
We need a motion.
I'm in
Is
collectively in
discussion.
that right, Brett?
Yes.
Yeah, we need a motion, yeah.
so my motion would be to, approve the special use permit under the same guidelines that we had originally, which was a 2-year time period,
Okay.
just to foster I get that y'all own property out there, but our intention, I think, as a council back then, being a member of it, or mine was to facilitate a place of business that paid, the
You want a
the
permanent
property taxes
Sure,
and
sure.
a permanent structure and a permanent type of environment. And that was why we put the 2 years on it the first time. And, if I make a motion, I'd like to include
Okay.
or if I am making a motion right
Yeah.
this minute, I am making a motion that we
Okay.
approve this with a 2-year
Okay.
timeframe on it once again.
We have a motion by Councilman Rob Goen to approve it with a 2-year time frame expiration, kind of like the previous one. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second by Mindy Gallup. Now, we can have some great discussion.
I would say that I didn't mind going longer on the mobile care. I think she's serving a tremendous purpose in our community, and I don't see any sense in rushing a permanent structure. But I'm okay with the motion as it stands.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you, Tim. It's hard because she's not here to provide us with some insight on what her long-term plan, understanding that she doesn't necessarily have to
Right.
provide us with that long-term plan, but it would be helpful to hear what her long-term plan is. But I'm with you. I think if the mobile nature of what she's doing isn't necessarily broke, if that model isn't broke, then
Well,
we
we have 2
don't
years
necessarily
to-
have
to
to
see how
require her to
she-
fix it. Yeah,
As-
yeah,
as
but
an
I'm with you. I
operator.
wouldn't mind it being a little bit longer, but
Well,
Yeah,
I
at a
think we have to
minimum,
go
let's
back
start with
also
2
and,
years.
and have a discussion around our
The original
permit.
intent.
Well, the original intent, and then the fact that she is a mobile trailer, she is an itinerant vendor.
Mm-hmm.
And several years ago, we as a council came together and created a whole new set of rules for itinerant vendors, whereas my company, being an itinerant vendor, doesn't play by the same rules as the other people. And we approve this one way or the other. We need to go back and look at our itinerant vendor rules and see how they're applied. Are they working for us? I say, yeah, maybe, no, maybe. But, I feel like my company is under a different set of the same rules that we've given this lady. And I know what's in the packaging of what we did 2 or 3 years ago with our permitting structure. And I know what I see in the marketplace. I can't participate in the marketplace. I choose not to, because I don't wanna be the one that everybody goes, well, look at him. He's not following the rules.
Sure.
So,
Well, and the original intent back when we did this 2 years ago was she had to do brick and mortar by at the end of the 2 years. I mean, that was
and
kind of,
I
or
get it.
pull the permit.
I get it,
whatever.
and that's obviously
So
based
that's,
on,
but that's why I'm saying, that's why I agree with you to do it just for the 2 years, because I think I don't wanna get, because it's gonna give us some time to go back and look to make sure that the itinerant vendor policy.
and it's gonna
is
cost her
applicable to
$75
everybody. So,
to reapply 2 years from now.
yeah, I mean,
Is
there's
that
nothing
the-
wrong, I mean, she can
Isn't
come
that
back
the
in 2 years.
fees
yeah.
for,
Forgive me, I'll have to look.
That's
I
what
wanna
we-
say it's 200 now. I think that was
Oh.
amended a couple.
I paid 75 last time, so.
Right. I think
Is this the best approach? I mean, is this, and forgive me, because I don't know all of our, you know, zoning requirements, is maybe I should be a little more well versed on them, but is having her apply for an SUP, is this the best approach for her? And even though, I'm sorry, Brett, I'm kind of putting you on the spot here, but is this the best path for her to pursue? Not knowing whether or not she's going to keep it mobile or eventually want to put something permanent there. Is this the best path?
I'll be happy to speak to that, Councilwoman Morris. We did talk about this a little bit at our development review
Okay.
committee this morning. That includes fire marshal, building official, director of public works, Shane Pace, myself, and our development services coordinator. One kind of hybrid model could potentially be to put in the ordinance that this just simply comes before city council in 2 years. That would then kind of bypass her having to do an actual full zoning application going back through the P&Z process. And we could just re-review it at that point, and at city council would then have the authority to either discontinue the SUP or extend it again, but kind of allow her to skip some of those steps that may be a hybrid model. You could even do that in 12 months from now and just seek to get additional clarification or information.
Okay.
Well, that would be kind of nice.
I don't have a problem with any of this, or we can come in and say 0 years. But I want us to go back and look at the rules that we created and
Okay.
either correct them or streamline them. I mean, we did this on purpose. We set these boundaries on purpose at one point in time. And, you know, we made no parking on, what street is it, behind Chick-fil-A?
Sure.
Niches.
Natchez Street.
Yeah.
We don't need that anymore.
Right.
I mean, we did it as a reactionary way to deal with
Chick-fil-A.
all the openings, Chick-fil-A, Starbucks and that. It has not been there's no reason that that's still no parking. And I just think that we need to go back and clean some stuff up and review some stuff ourselves.
Yeah, I
But
think,
like I say, I mean,
for me, the itinerant
I don't wanna be
vendor 2
petty,
years
I-
ago was a food truck. You know, I didn't even think about a mobile
mobile
veterinary.
vendor. I know,
To be
that's a
clear,
good
there's an
point.
itinerant vendor ordinance and there's a food truck ordinance,
Oh,
and they're
okay.
separate and apart from one another.
Okay, okay.
So there is some overlap potentially in certain areas, and staff will prepare some type of Venn diagram or something to clarify what
You
those
know,
are.
and I think a couple of years ago, her intent was to build
Oh, I think so,
a
too.
facility,
Yeah, when life
and we all
happens.
know construction costs have gone way, way
But
up.
to address the citizens' concern, if you looked at the slide that James put up there, I don't think her model is gonna change, because she's going all around East Texas into the metro. Yeah, I mean, you know, I understand, yeah. Yeah. I don't see her all of a sudden stopping and saying, I'm gonna land here in Jackson. I'm sorry.
Well, we have a motion and a second on the floor to approve for 2 years, I think is what it is.
I'd like to make one
Yeah.
further comment,
Yeah,
just to
sure.
clarify that, again, the SUP is for the use. Having the SUP for the use, she is entitled to come and pull a building permit and construct a brick and mortar building, just so everybody understands that.
Okay.
The use is veterinarian. So if the
Right.
veterinarian is operating under the itinerant vendor ordinance, in addition to the SUP, it's trailer based. But if she were tomorrow to decide I want to pull a building permit and change her model, she has the entitlements
She
to do
would be
that.
able to do that.
If she wanted to build tomorrow, could that go from temporary mobile, because I think she only does That can be now every day, correct?
Correct.
That could be overnight, all week, as long as they pay.
Generally speaking, yes, how a veterinarian would.
Well, actually, under this, she could be there with the mobile van, the mobile trailer every day. I mean,
Subject to the
Exactly.
itinerant vendor ordinance, yeah, I'd have to review that and, yes,
I mean, she's not approved only to be there on Sunday.
correct.
Correct.
And so, I mean, she has the rights to be there 7 days a week, 24 hours a day.
Even in the trailer.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay, well, I'll call the question. All in favor, as it's been presented? You got anything else?
No, sir, just to clarify, is it expiring in 24 months or is it a review by the city council in 24 months?
can we do the
I can
review?
do the
We'll
review,
review by the city
reviewed by
council.
the city council in
Save her
24
some
months.
steps.
We can change it, that we all
To
understand.
make an amendment, you need a second to the amendment.
Who seconded?
Okay.
Motion.
I mean, I'll
You
second.
got it.
Okay, so we have a second to the amendment that we're gonna extend it for 2 years, only subject to council
approval,
review.
Council review.
Okay, we have a motion and a second, okay. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries. Item number 10 is to discuss and consider possible action or resolutions regarding the groundwater withdrawal application by Red Town Ranch Holdings LLC and Pine Bliss LLC. Okay.
Yes, Mayor, City Council, as you're aware, and as I think many in our community are aware, and even in our region, there was a public hearing conducted by the Natchez and Trinity Valley's Groundwater Conservation District in conjunction with one of their meetings here at City Hall on June 19th of this year. It's kind of an accessibility and transparency initiative to host that here and just allow them to have a bigger room than they generally would. However, for those who may have tuned in via local media or tried to attend in person, it even kind of flooded into the hallways and outside of City Hall. But this item tonight is to put on record the council's stance as it pertains to an application for 43 water wells in the region, none specifically in Cherokee County, but they would tap the Carrizo Wilcox Aquifer. These applications have been considered by the Natchez and Trinity Valley's Groundwater Conservation District, and at the culmination of their June 19th meeting, they made a motion to contract with the State Office of Administrative Hearings to hold future evidentiary hearings on this. I would direct anybody to go directly to their website for the latest information and contact information. But again, what this resolution does is kind of codifies the city council's concern as it pertains to the potential drilling of these wells and its impact on water pressure, water availability, the depth of wells, specifically the 5 wells that the city of Jacksonville uses to provide clean drinking water for our citizens in conjunction with our surface water that comes out of Lake Jacksonville and Lake Acker. And it also does have included as an attachment to the resolution, an exhibit rather, a letter from State Senator Nichols pertinent to this matter.
Okay. So I'll entertain a motion to approve that resolution.
Mayor, I'll make a motion, we approve the resolution in opposition of withdrawing the groundwater by these particular companies mentioned.
Okay, we have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Tim McRae,
I'll second.
second by Councilman Rob Goen. Any discussion? Anything? No? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries. Item number 12 is to discuss and consider possible action appointments to the Jacksonville Economic Development Corporation Board from District 1, Latitia Forrest, District 2, Mindy Gallup, District 3, Tim McRae, and District 4, it's a council-wide appointment. So, Brett, I guess we should take each one independently, probably?
Certainly.
Okay. So I'm just taking them in the order. A, District 1, Latitia Horst, do you have anyone that you would like to present?
Yes, sir. Loretta Doty.
Loretta Doty. She's the incumbent, I think.
She is.
Okay,
She is currently serving on the JACO board.
okay. Brett, would we approve each one or just at the
You
top?
can, yeah, that'd be good.
Would that be good?
Yes.
Okay. So we've heard Councilwoman Latitia Horst's nomination for Loretta Doty.
Motion?
A motion to, hear a motion to approve?
Oh, you have a motion, you need
No,
a second.
second.
Okay, got and a second by Councilman Tim McRae. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries. District 2, Mindy Gallup.
I make Do I make a motion? I make
Yeah.
a motion, we approved, reappointment of Daryl DeMint for District Two.
Okay, we have that motion, go here a second. Second by Councilman Tim McRae, any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion approved. District 3, Tim McRae.
I'd like to make a motion to reappoint Dylan Rodriguez as my appointment to the JETCO board.
Okay, we have a motion by Tim McRae for Dillon. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Letitia Horse, any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries. Item number 4 is our city council appointment. That's one of us as a group. And I'll make a motion that we reappoint Robert Cudd. He is currently serving in that position.
Second.
Second by Councilman Tim McRae. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries. We do okay, Brett? Okay.
Doing great.
All right, item number 13, to discuss and consider possible action and interlocal agreement with the city of Tyler regarding a purchasing co-op.
Yes, Mayor, City Council, this is just an initiative by staff in partnership, hopefully with the City of Tyler. They would maybe take requisite action on this ILA. We've been in discussions with both their management team there and their legal team. But Chapter 791 of the Texas Local Government Code does authorize interlocal agreements between governmental entities for the purposes of effectiveness and efficiency in the carrying out of governmental functions and services. What this would effectively do at no cost to the City of Jacksonville or the City of Tyler is just allow us to piggyback off of one another's contracts that were procured or secured subject to state law. Again, the vendors, if they were going to authorize us to piggyback off one another's entities' contracts, would have to also, of course, agree to that. Where we see this coming into significant play for the City of Jacksonville potentially is in some of the road improvement projects that we have to look forward to. They have some similar vendors that they use, and we think there's some economies of scale to be had if we were able to piggyback off of, say, a crack sealing contractor, a street overlay contractor, something of that nature. We've also met with their city engineer and one of their staff engineers. They're very receptive to this as well, and they do see benefits. So again, no cost. It is a 12-month initial term that auto renews, subject to being terminated in writing with a 30-day notice by either entity.
Okay. Very good. We've heard that. I will entertain a motion on the interlocal agreement.
I'll make a motion that we approve an interlocal agreement with the City of Tyler.
Okay. We have a motion by Councilman Rob Goen,
Second.
second by Councilwoman Mindy Gallick. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion carries. Item 14, open forum for mayor and council. Letitia, I know you got something.
I don't have anything
You don't,
today.
nothing to that?
Nothing tonight. Nothing tonight.
Okay.
Come on.
Anybody else?
All's good.
All's well?
All's good.
All right. City managers report.
Yes, thank you. Just a couple items to call everyone's attention to. This one has come and gone, so we mentioned this at the last meeting, but this is kind of the recap. We did have the grand reopening of Lincoln Park on Saturday, June 21st. Over $500,000 reinvested into that park, splash pad, workout stations, a looped walking trail, playground equipment, park amenities, and some enhancements to the restrooms. More to come just in terms of just continuing to spruce up the park. But want to thank Devin Fredrickson and just the community at large. This was a public-private partnership. JEDCO was involved monetarily and in procurement ways as well. And then FDCDC was instrumental in securing $65,000 of community support toward the project as well. Also thanks in part to a grant from the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department of $75,000. $150,000 there. So a lot of great activity there. Republic Services was out there for the event. I think they supplied over 300 hot dogs. I think they cooked over 400 hot dogs that day. So wonderful turnout and wonderful event. Substantial work is taking form at the Lake Project. Again, over $1 million reinvestment in the Lakeside Park. The self-service fueling station is hopefully set to be operational by the customer no later than the end of this week or early next week. it was operational over the July 4th weekend, but it was manned by staff in kind of a override method, if you will, in terms of pumping the fuel. You see there on the left the framing of the restroom structure taking shape as well. So a lot of rains, and so some supply chain things have slowed this project down, but really do want to appreciate the community for their patience in this. We look forward to completing it, and clearly it will be have a ribbon around it and be ready for use in our 2026 boating season that we have to look forward to. A couple of events with your public safety teams here at the city. There's a cones with a cop at McDonald's to be hosted on Tuesday, July 22nd from 3 to 4 p.m. And then Splash Day at Nichols Green Park on Saturday, July 26th, and supported by both Sadler's, Jacksonville Economic Development Corporation, and then of course your local firefighter and paramedics here in town. So look forward and invite everybody out to that event. And then this actually comes at the request of Councilwoman Horace, but it was definitely timely and important. Just to remind everybody that right on the home page of our website, that icon has been there for some time, but your eyes can grow tired. But if you click on that emergency alerts button there, there's two different ways to make sure that you have the latest and greatest access to emergency information, either put out by the National Weather Service, the City of Jacksonville. You can opt into a lot of different levels of service via an app or just a text-based service. A lot of customization on how often you want to be prompted, but in light of the flooding that impacted South Texas and Central Texas recently, just wanted to call everybody's attention to this service and how it may be useful in the event of severe weather, tornadoes, things of that nature. So you do create a little bit of an account there and custom tailor that to yourself, but free of charge. It's in partnership with the East Texas Council of Governments. So we would invite everybody and encourage everybody to sign up for RAVE emergency alerts. It's very self-explanatory once you click on that link there on the home page. And kind of as a complement to that, I do want to let everybody know that Alicia Wetzel, our EMS services coordinator, actually left on Friday to take part in a state emergency medical task force from Region 4. She's manning a strike team, leading a strike team as the leader of strike team number 5. And in fact, she was just, I think, dispatched to Kerrville today, and we don't know quite yet when she'll return to Jacksonville, but we appreciate her service in that capacity.
Yeah. That's it. All right. Well, we'll stand adjourned at 6:37. Thank you for coming.
Would
Yeah.
you announce that we're
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. And we're city attorney pending litigation. So, yeah, thanks for reminding me, I forgot. Thank you.
I did too, Mayor.